Tes tes. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining our session today. Hopefully everyone is still awake. Yeah, it's a crucial time to sleep since it's already past our lunchtime. So please keep your eyes and ears open for us today. Yeah. Okay, let's start. But before we start, I will introduce myself. My name is Ika. I'm a lecturer from Interior Design Program, Binus University, and I will conduct our session today, which is we will, as you see in the screen, we will talk about design for sustainability. Yeah, because this topic is quite issue for us nowadays, since it's stated in the UN, United Nations SDG guidelines, which is Sustainable Development Goals, that is being applied worldwide. What is design for sustainability? What do we have to care about this topic, or how we can apply to our design community? Let's hear more about it from our speaker today, Miss Siti Orita. Siti Khadijah. We can call her Siti. Please give an applause. Okay, before we start, I will introduce her briefly. Yeah, she is a lecturer from Interior Design Program, Binus University. She has a bachelor degree in interior design, majoring in furniture and interior accessories design, and also has a master degree in applied art, and she also participate in many design competition and won some awards in environmental and sustainable design categories. She also experienced in design development, such as writing, facilitating, and data collecting for design research. She also interested in environmental and spatial design studies. Okay, without further ado, please, Miss Siti, you may have your presentation.
Okay, hello everyone. Hope you guys still awake and enjoy this session with me. Maybe this topic is quite hard for me because sustainability is not that easy to achieve, but I want to share with you a bit of my journey to gain what sustainability is. Yeah. Before we jump into the sustainability aspect in design, I want to ask you first, guys, what is design? What's in your mind when you hear about design? Maybe one of you want to answer? What is design? No one? Okay.
Design maybe is a problem solving from some problem in masyarakat.
Okay. Okay, let's see what, thank you. What's your name? Oh, thank you, Hilmi, for the answer. If we refers to the International Council of Design, design is the activity, the process designers undergo in response. So it's correct that design is responding to a given problem. So we as designer has to offer the solution to a given problem, right? Then if we're talking about the modern design, we are all the modern society, right? Then we cannot separate the modern design to the Industrial Revolution. Since its beginning in 1784, industrial revolution has changing rapidly. Until today, we very, very digital savvy, and all of our design is like separated from the ecosystem. We, as if we are the human that can produce product or system outside the ecosystem. But once in 1971, Victor Papanek, he is a former lecturer in Rhode Island School of Design, said that design has become the most powerful tool with which man can shape society and himself. So when we realize that the evolution of technology, of products, the design is contribute more than just offering the solution. It playing a big role in changing the society. Most of us certainly familiar with the picture on the slide. We all know that the plastic bottle is one of the biggest problem that we are facing today. So Victor Papanek at the period of 1971 said that design is working as political tool, because we can see from the plastic bottle, from the beginning of the plastic material emergence, it substitute the paper. The paper itself is made of from the trees, and the people worried about the deforestation, etc., etc. So the plastic is like a superb material of its durability, practicalities. But nowadays, the mass production of plastic bottle without concerning the impact make many kinds of problems in our landfills, in public health, environmental problems, etc., etc. So from the cases, I realized that there are no design for everything. When we design something, we need to rethink again and again. This is like a human can disconnect it, human can disconnect it culture, and human can disconnect it environment. So today we are facing the period of Anthropocene. Anyone here ever heard about Anthropocene before? No one? Okay. Today we are in the new period of geological era. This picture is telling more than just the mountains. This is what the human-made environment, it changing the forest on the mountains into the built environment that human need to support their feed, support the electricity, etc., etc. Now, for the definition itself, natural history of museum said that Anthropocene is the time during humans have a domination and substantial impact on our planet that creating climate change. What is climate change? We are all now facing different kinds of disasters, such as flood and deforestations. And can we imagine that in the future, our grandchild will discover a fossil in the form of our electronic devices? That's Anthropocene telling us. So from realizing to the situation nowadays, I led me to take you on my journey where I realized that one of the best practices reflecting to our root. This is my first journey when I want to dig more information, dig more definition about what sustainability is. Once my father said that my grandfather uh, came from small villages in East Borneo, named Long Iram, and 10 hours by car from Long Iram, there was Tanjung Isoy village. If you remember that Ibu Mita yesterday telling us the same story about the Tanjung Isoy, and this is the first material I'm working with. I'm really impressed with the material because this material is rapidly growing in a forest. And I think at that time that by producing something from the plant, it means that I protect the forest. Traditionally, ulap doyo, a textile made of the Curculigo latifolia or ulap doyo, is being used to the traditional or spiritual purposes. But then in 2018, I tried to discover more how the Olap Doyo can be transformed in the more modern look, also with the modern technique used, the iron rust. And in 2016, I have opportunity to live in the eastern area, remote areas in Indonesia. There is in Ngada, East Nusa Tenggara. There I realized that design is not standing alone with the designer, but it complies, it inviting all of the parties on the places. We are connected to the craftsmen, we are connected to the artisans with the material and with the plans that the material is can be colored by the plan. And also in the 2019, I discovered the journey of searching what sustainability is in the Papua. There was very interesting because the area is the surrounding areas are in the Sentani Lake, and the most issue in there are the plastic waste. Here in the slide, you can see that I try to transform the plastic waste in the Sentani Lakes into the accessories. And if you have ever heard about Noken, the mama or local host are also transform the plastic yarn into the Noken. And this is the sagu, grilled sagu, the traditional cuisine of Papuan people. Yeah, I give her one. And I really impressed with the material, so I transformed this technique into the sagu board in the left. And in 2022, I also realized that the sustainability is not only talking about the traditional context. It also happened in our surroundings in the urban areas. This is my thesis project. If you want to searching more, there are the link that you can discover. This project is capturing the tacit knowledge that everyday practice of the people from the coastal North Jakarta that are facing the tidal flood, or in Indonesia tidal flood is banjirop ya, banjir atau or floodings that are occurred monthly or annually into the human settlement. So this is uh, the last journey of our findings that sustainability is also happen to what is called uh, developing our urban waste. There are organic waste that exist in our kitchen, such as eggshells, coffee shop, then corn husk, etc., etc. I experimenting with the organic urban waste into the new materials. So what I gain from the several works, I think to gain the sustainability is uh, leveling thinking in several level. First, we need to rethink and reflect what we have produced. Then we realize that we need to reduce, repurpose. Then the last level is to recycle. So the recycle is the last option. If you have another option, it better for us to not to recycle what the object in our surroundings. It is a better choice to rethink again and again and conscious of the resources of our surroundings. So preventing is much better than curing. Minimizing consumption is the best option. Now, this is the last option. When I was in 2018, I was eager to take part in the upcycle materials process. This is in Bali when I was being selected in an incubation. I saw many kinds of cotton waste fabric materials. Then I experimenting with the materials to be looks like the seaweed. And also in Jakarta, I working with several studios. There are Mortier and Good R&D. This is several types of wooden joinery with plastic. So at the end of our journey, I realized that turning on the responsibility is also our responsibility as a designer. Be conscious of what we have created, be conscious of what we think, be conscious of what we have offered to the other. Why? Because we are part of the ecosystem. We're not the only living creatures that are living in this world. We are only one, human and human, and being part of the whole ecosystem. There are animals, there are insects, there are trees, flowers, water, wind, fungi, and also microbes that we can't see with our own eyes. So being empathy for everything is very important. It makes us become a responsible designer, become a responsible person. So what is sustainable design? This is the way in search of balance to ensure that designing process and the outcome has no harm for the society and also the ecology. Design can't stand alone. There are three things that we need to keep our eyes on. There are social aspect, economical aspect, and also ecological aspect. So clear up the image of design as visual pleasure, guys. I myself, still learning and still studying how to. But till now, I realized that it is the whole connect to the certain ecosystem, interconnected with things, is an important part of sustainable design. Design is proposed, the idea of design is proposed to preserve, to become a harmony in our life, not to exploit. So consider about it, making you more responsible to our life. And as the end of the presentation, I want to take a quote from my favorite book, Little Prince. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. So let's make a difference. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Ita, for your presentation. I don't know, Miss Ita or Miss Siti, same person. And thank you for sharing your journey through the design to sustain our ecosystem. And it's very inspiring topic to, and hope it can be a way to rethink our design thinking. Okay, I have some question, and maybe audience in Zoom can drop your question in chat. Yeah, and I can read the, wait, I think Kak Pet already, okay. Oh, in Indonesia nggak apa-apa ya. Oh, sudah ditranslate. Oke. Hello, I'm interested to know what your process is for upcycling materials. Is it up to the laboratory to be able to achieve the discover of the desired material?
Okay, thank you. So the question is about the process of for the materials, right? Yeah, the materials that I try to discover, I try to explore is self-experimenting. So it is outside the lab. I try to experimenting by using the kitchen utensils on my house. But it is tested on several universities and several places on all over the world by using the laboratory tools. It was the most it was the best result when you use the laboratory tools. But in our laboratory, there are no enough equipment. So I think the best practice that you can do, or we all can do, is trying by ourselves at home, then trying to search the partner or collaborate with studios or workshops that can produce the materials.
Thank you. That question is from Miss Resita. I hope it's already answer your question. Di Zoom masih ada nggak ada ya? Sudah ya? Oke. Oke, maybe audience here you have a question for Miss It. Still ada? Okay. If it's not, maybe while waiting, I have a question for you. Mana contekan saya? Okay. How to engage the community that in your area to take part, since it's not really usual for them to do that kind of practice, because you see you work with the native people, and I think they not really usual to like apa ya, collaborate with other designer or other people from other space, other place ya, to work with them.
Yeah, thank you for the answer, the question. I was very young when I was sent to the village around 20 years old, I think. So at the first time, I confused, and that was very hard for me to get to know how to collaborate with the native people. But as time goes by, for information that the team and I live in there for 4 months in a row, and for a year on and off. So I think the first thing needs to consider when we want to collaborate with the native is interaction. We can't interact by 1 day or 2 days or even a week or a month. It needs time. It takes time. Interaction is the most important thing when we want to collaborate with everyone, even with my classmates. We need time to, we need a space and time to be adjusted, right? This is the first time. And the second one is we tried to switch our role from the designer to a facilitator. We can't be a designer when we are in a village. It is hard for us, for me especially, to assist the native to make what I want to they to do. But when we taking part as the facilitator, we uh, we need to know what they can do, what the habit, what their habit, what kind of activity they can do. So the design is adjusted their habit. The design is adjusted their ability to make something. It is easier for us to achieve the sustainable process. This is the way we approach to several native groups in the villages. So I think as a designer, we can still monitorize the quality and also the quantity. But for the process, we need to change our role to be the facilitator. I think that's all.
Okay, and continue for that. How they're reacted after that. I mean, and also, is it sustained until now? I mean, it's already quite a long time ago. You live in their area. So, how about now? Is it you have any update from them or anything else?
Okay, this is the question that have been questioned by many. Firstly, it occurred in 2016, so I think it's 8 years ago from my first experience collaborate with the native people. First time we want to we tell them that we want to collaborate, it's hard for them because they don't know the process, and we are strangers. So they say that who you are or why you want to change our habit, like that. But we we said that we want to make a better services, not to change their habit. The the switching process is also helped by the government. So we collaborate also with the local government and also the government from the Creative Economy Agency, or kalau Bapak Ibu tahu dulu ada yang namanya Badan Ekonomi Kreatif. So this in this stage, we take the top down, approach, and it the approach is clearly working in the Ngada society. In Ngada, still running by our another team. In that time, we are in a group consist of 11 designers, multidiscipline designers. And nowadays, some of them still working there and collaborate with them and collaborate also with another designers. So the approach is still working in Ngada, but in Papua is not working well. It's different case. It's different approach. In Papua, we use the bottom up. So if we remember that top down is from government to the community, the bottom up process is starting from the community to the government. We tried to collaborate with the community first at Papua, namanya Aliaka Art Center. There was a group of people that very concerned with the local craftsmen, local arts, and then they approached the local government to make a bigger program as the festival, and they take into the festival on the next stages.
It's depend on how we approach them, right? Yeah. Okay. And then continue with those topic. This is another question from Kasita. How long does it takes usually for you to experiment?
Okay. As we can see from the slides, the process of my journey is taking years from 2016 to 2018 and collaborate with other communities in 2019. And as I'm still experimenting in COVID or pandemic era. And until today, I'm still experimenting also with Pet for the next exhibition. So the experimenting process is never ending process. I think the design itself is an iterative process. It's never ending process that prove that the design is still relevant with the problem that we are facing today. So experimenting is in our blood. It can be determined from 1 year to another. I think that's it.
Hope it answer your question, Miss Sita. And then another one from here, or two, or three. Silakan teman-teman. Bahasa Indonesia juga nggak apa-apa. Ini sudah bisik-bisik nih pojok sini, kalau mau nanya silakan. Mau bertanya? Oke, boleh dia katanya.
Aku mau nanya, gimana sih sebagai desainer yang sustainability, gimana caranya ngebalancing antara estetik sama sustainability-nya dalam proyeknya kakak gitu. Makasih.
Siapa? Michelle. Dengan Michelle. Si.
Terima kasih Michelle, pertanyaannya. Itu juga salah satu hal yang cukup sulit ya. Mungkin teman-teman juga menghadapi. Jangankan kita memilih untuk konteks sustainable, konteks yang biasa aja, yang in the modern context, it was so hard for us to achieve the aesthetic, ya kan? Tapi perlu diingat teman-teman kalau estetik itu sebenarnya kan tergantung pada grup tertentu. Nggak bisa kita sama ratain. Menurut Michelle mungkin kursi hijau ini bagus banget ya, tapi bisa jadi menurut Bu Ika itu kayak agak norak misalnya gitu, atau menurut teman-teman yang lain ternyata punya pandangan yang lain. Jadi menurut saya ini dari experience pengalaman saya pribadi sih, pertama kali mungkin perlu dipikirkan sustainability-nya dulu. sustainability itu bukan artinya kita memikirkan gimana ya supaya konteksnya green atau kelihatan seperti ramah lingkungan. Tapi tadi empati dulu. Kita pikirkan dulu dampaknya ke orang gimana ya, dampaknya ke makhluk lain gimana ya, ke sekitar kita apa ya, di masa depan gimana ya. That was the first thing to do the sustainability aspect. Sustainability is very sexy for now, but it's hard to make it gitu kan. Jadi itunya dulu, baru kemudian estetikanya. Estetika tuh kan nanti kita bakalan ngobrol sama audiensnya atau sama orang yang akan menikmati atau orang yang akan menggunakannya. Kita bisa approach dari situ gitu. Terus juga kita bisa pakai teknik yang kedua adalah melihat fenomena. Jadi tren apa nih yang lagi in tanpa meninggalkan temuan kita dari si sustainability aspek tadi. Gitu kira-kira. Semoga menjawab ya. Sama-sama.
Oke, ada lagi dari sini? Dia mau nanya lagi? Belum? Masih mikir? Oke. We have another one from Zoom, anonymous, but it's quite interesting question. As mentioned before, we as designers has the power, which means comes more responsibilities. In practice, to what extent is our responsible as designers? Also considering we as designer tend to think human as the center, whereas in ecological thinking, we also need to consider other living being. Nah, ini gimana nih cari balance-nya? Sampai mana kita bisa think as
Okay. So from the question, we know that there are two approaches. The first one is human-centered design, and the second one is ecological thinking-based design. Right? Nah, from my experience, that human-centered design has its own period. It's emerged in after World War until the middle of 90s. And the ecological based design is emerged after we as human realize that there are several impacts, especially bad impacts, after the human-centered design has been evolved all around the world. So as a designer, we have to consider about the two kinds of approaches where the human can understand the ecological aspect also without leaving the sustainable or ecological aspect. And we as a designer has another duty, quote unquote duty, as a campaigner. So we try to yelling to the world. We are concerning of the ecological, how important the ecological is. That's, I think, the best practice. And the second one is back to our root, where our ancestors has bequeathed us the best practice of harmony, design within harmony, by considering the two approaches and keep our eyes on the three points: ecology, economy, and social. I think the two approaches can be gained. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I hope it answer, or you have other feedback or opinion. Maybe here in the audience, you have any question? Siapa? Ini malu-malu nih kayaknya nih. Already clear, ya. Maybe you have question. It's not really related to here, but maybe we want to ask how this sustainability thing can be emerge in your ideas. Maybe how to incorporate it to your group ideas. Ya, silakan loh. Apakah ada ini pertanyaan misalnya nih saya tuh bikin ini gitu. Gimana ya kira-kira kalau kita connectkan ke sustainability gitu ya. Silakan loh. Apakah ada pertanyaan lagi di sini? Guys, oh ini depan nih kayaknya. Enggak. Kamu mau nanya? Nah, silakan.
Ya udah. Ya udah. Eh, kalau dari apa sustainability, kalau yang saya tangkap itu kayaknya harus gimana kita tanggung jawab kepada kayak alam dan sekitar gitu ya. Tapi apakah yang sustainability itu harus ke alam saja? Misalnya ke yang lain itu termasuk juga atau tidak gitu? Eh,
Apa sih? Oke, eh jadi ini dalam bahasa Indonesia lagi ya. Tadi siapa namanya lupa? Maaf. Oh, Hilmi. Hilmi ya. Ya. Jadi Hilmi, kalau dari sudut pandang saya nih, sustainable itu tuh tadi 3 aspek penting. Ada ekologi, ada sosial, sama ada ekonomi. Kenapa ada sosial? Karena tadi kita tuh nggak hidup sendiri di dunia ini. Ada makhluk-makhluk lain, termasuk manusia lain gitu. Jadi sustain itu berarti juga desain kita bisa diterima oleh orang lain, pihak lain, atau kelompok masyarakat lain. Termasuk lebih baik juga desain kita bisa tanda kutip mempengaruhi kebijakan pemerintah. Itu luar biasa sih menurut saya. Pengalaman yang tadi di Ngada itu sebelum kita masuk eh, pemerintahan daerah itu ya udah strukturnya biasa aja, ada dinas pariwisata dan lain-lain. Tapi setelah program kita selesai, pemerintah daerah itu akhirnya membuat dinas khusus namanya Dinas Ekonomi Kreatif. Jadi setelah program itu dibuat divisi itu, akhirnya komunitas-komunitas jadi jalan. Itu yang menurut saya salah satu bagian dari sustainability yang kita tinggalin. Jadi walaupun sayanya udah enggak tinggal di sana lagi, tapi saya meninggalkan apa ya? eh, meninggalkan gagasan gitu. Gagasan yang bisa diterima bersama dan dilanjutkan bukan sama saya karena saya bukan orang sana. Saya hanya fasilitator. Yang meneruskan adalah teman-teman di sana, komunitas dan juga pemerintahan di sana. Sampai hari ini sih harusnya masih ada ya dinas itu. Itu yang disebut dengan sustainable sesama manusia juga gitu sih. Mudah-mudahan menjawab. Sudah menjawab ya, Hilmi ya. Oke, ada lagi? Kita masih punya waktu. Apakah di Zoom ada lagi nggak, Kapet? Belum ada. I think udah nggak ada pertanyaan lagi kira-kira? Oke, since there is no more, ada lagi ternyata. Baru mau tutup.
Palingan aku penasaran aja sih. Itu kan cara mulainya itu gimana ya? Kayak kan kakak udah buat project gede banget. Jadi kayak palingan kita juga bisa buat mulai kecil-kecilan. Tapi kalau yang buat skala gede itu gimana ya caranya? Kayak itu apa sih kayak apa yang harus dimulai yang harus dianalisa dari environmentnya dulu sama pas awal-awal bikin prototype gimana?
Namanya siapa? Jesslyn. Ya, terima kasih Jesslyn pertanyaannya. Nah, pertanyaan bagus. Karena saya mulainya tuh di 2015 sebenarnya. Jadi tepat setelah saya graduated from the university. Itu saat-saat dimana saya belum dapat kerja. Jadi teman-teman saya udah dapat pekerjaan tetap, terus mungkin saya perlu waktu ya, kata Tuhan mungkin kamu perlu waktu untuk mencari jati diri. Terus akhirnya saya sambil mengingat-ingat memori masa lalu saya. Kenapa sih saya akhirnya ke Jakarta? Kebetulan saya bukan orang Jakarta ya, saya dari Kaltim, Kalimantan Timur. Terus saya ngobrol sama diri sendiri gitu. Kan pengen pulang gitu kan. Terus kalau udah pulang mau ngapain? Akhirnya dari pertanyaan itu saya ingat kata bapak saya, kakek saya itu dari daerah mana, dari daerah mana. Terus saya coba mencari potensi apa yang ada di kampung kakek saya. Nah, terus ketemulah si Ulap Doyo itu gitu. Walaupun memang itu bukan daerah kampung kakek saya, tapi di daerah sekitar sana banyak perajinnya. Nah, dari situ saya coba bereksperimen dengan jualan dulu teman-teman. Jadi awalnya si Project Ulap Doyo itu karena keterbatasan sebenarnya, karena saya waktu itu belum bekerja tetap, belum ada pekerjaan yang full time, saya coba berkreasi, kemudian saya jualan, ikut-ikut pameran dan lain-lain. Selain produk yang tadi di slide, saya juga bikin beberapa furniture sama aksesoris interior kayak lampu gitu-gitu. Nah, dari situ saya bikin sendiri sebenarnya. Awalnya tuh saya jahit-jahit sendiri, terus saya nabung, saya bawa ke tukang jahit. Jadi collaborate with the craftsmen gitu. Kalau leather kan emang tukangnya khusus ya, nggak bisa tukang jahit baju. Nah, itu saya minta tolong untuk dijahitkan. Terus saya ikut-ikut pameran. Nah, dari pameran itu lalu muncul ajakan kayak ayo coba aja ada program ini nih dari Backcraft. Oh iya, oh ya udah coba aja ini ada seleksinya. Akhirnya masukinlah portofolio di sana. Diseleksi ternyata alhamdulillah waktu itu masuk jadi ada sekitar 50 desainer yang disebar ke 5 daerah di Indonesia. Ada Kabupaten Ngada di Flores, Sawah Lunto, Rembang, Brebes, satu lagi Lampung Pesawaran. Nah, desainer-desainer yang dipilih itu berdasarkan portofolionya mereka. Jadi sebenarnya yang saya bikin tuh cuma satu project yang Ulap Doyo itu. Terus abis itu baru berkelanjutan gitu. Jadi saya mencoba memberanikan diri menawarkan atau mengajukan project itu ke badan-badan yang membuka open call atau program-program hibah. Kalau sekarang mah kayaknya banyak ya seperti yang kalian ikutin kan sebenarnya juga salah satu program yang sama, cuman waktu itu saya posisinya memang sudah selesai bekerja gitu. Nah, dari situ saya sadar, oh ternyata ada eh, jalur kehidupan lain ya, selain jadi desainer di kantor, saya juga terus bisa berkarya, terus saya bikin portofolio yang mana nanti portofolio itu saya kirim ke kementerian-kementerian. Proyek yang kedua yang di Papua itu dari Kementerian Kebudayaan, Direktorat Jenderal Kesenian. Jadi sudah beda kementerian lagi. Proyek yang ketiga yang ada fabric itu yang lain lagi itu dari sebuah working hub gitu di Bali. Jadi caranya seperti itu, Jesslyn. Terus eksperimennya ya di rumah, diusahakan pakai alat-alat yang kita punya aja di rumah, gitu. Mudah-mudahan menjawab ya. Semangat buat teman-teman.
So mungkin untuk teman-teman yang sedang cari identitas ya, how you want to design or you want to be a designer, maybe bisa mengambil contoh from Miss Ita that you can see your root ya, kembali ke daerah asal kamu gitu ya, and explore what they have there and make it more modern ya, and sustain. Itu sih sebenarnya ya kalau untuk ini. Oke, I think it's already sedikit lagi selesai. Waktu habis, mungkin I wrap up this session. For conclusion, for me, design for sustainability does not only mean to only save the nature, yeah, but it also mean to preserve our culture. In this term is our ecosystem, and it is our role to be in line with our ecosystem. But I saw that we have to interconnect it within context and engaging our design community and be conscious in how we design. Hope this topic can inspire all of you to create something that can be sustained, that if it has an impact to our government policies, that it will be better, yeah, it would be best for that. And I take the last quotes from Miss Siti presentation as our closing line. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Also, I have a announcement for our next session. Our next session will be held at 2 p.m. with Miss Michelle Lim that will be presenting resilient designer, preparing for and adapting to global challenges. So stay tuned, yeah. We have a break, Kak Pet, for next session or just continue? Oke, oke. Oke, ya. Terus ini ada pesan sponsor. This seminar series is a part of three-part series of design presented by the New School of Design, Venus International School of Computer and Creative Arts, Venus Graduate Program Master of Design in collaboration with MAD School Singapore and supported by Creativity Indonesia. Thank you all.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you already have your delicious lunch. And today we are going to have, this is the last session for this seminar, and it's going to be titled Resilient Designer, Preparing for and Adapting to Global Challenges. Give round of applause for this session. Hopefully, we are going to have a lot of information from this speaker that I also really adore. First of all, my name is Azalia Muhransyah. I'm an assistant professor in the film department here in Binus University Alam Sutra. And before we begin, I would like to read a little bit of the speaker's information. I don't know which bit I should choose because it's very long. But before that, I would like to inform you again that this seminar series is a part of a three-part series on design presented by Binus School of Design, Binus International School of Computer and Creative Arts, Binus Graduate Program Master of Design, in collaboration with Math School Singapore and supported by Creativity Indonesia. Okay, so without further ado, let me just read about Michelle Lim, who's already here among us. She is a serial entrepreneur since 2003. Right now, she's a CEO and co-founder of Math School in Singapore, and also a CEO and co-founder of Make the Change, and CCO of Digital Arts of For All, Design for Good and Unite. Right? Okay. As you can see here in the presentation, she is also a TEDx Singapore speaker. And just recently, actually just last week, she just received the ASEAN Woman Entrepreneur Award in Cambodia. Wow. Let's give a round of applause, and the floor is yours, Shell.
Testing. Good. This is going to be the final sessions. Yeah. I think after this, you all can go for a party already. All right. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here. Thanks, Pat, and all the Venus University faculties and all the fellow change makers. I'm very happy to be here to share my humble experience. So I hope in the end of these sessions, we'll have a surprise for you, which I'm going to off all the live shoot later, that I'll bring my special guest to share a little bit of story for all of you. You can hear me clearly, right? I think on the Zooms, I think everybody should be kind. This is a picture that was taken when I was giving a TEDx talk. And I think if you have been to Singapore, probably you could be very familiar with Singlish. We speak English in a very different way, Singaporean way, but I'm not a Singaporean, I'm a Malaysian. So I came to Singapore at the age of 17, and I just share a little bit of the story. Okay, let me tell you a story of a call. No comments. Okay, I think the screen, okay. There's no comments, right? It was dated back. How many of you are actually below 20 years old? You're below 20 years old. Anyone below 20? Anyone below 20? Okay. How many of you are 20 to 25? 20 to 25. All right. Then the rest will be above 25. All right. So I don't need to ask anymore. Okay. At the age of 17, when I'm Chinese educated in Malaysia, so I went to Singapore to study my A-level, and I had a very hard time. You can just basically imagine that I learned everything in Chinese. So it's like you in your primary school or your high school, you could be learning everything in Bahasa, right? Then one day you go to university, you have to translate everything that you know into probably English, right? So that was what happened to me. I went to Singapore at the age of 17. I couldn't speak any single English. Basically, we use Chinese Mandarin to communicate. And English was not my forte at all. It's only one of the subject in the module, in the course. And I don't be bothered at all. Why? Simple. You know, Chinese and Chinese, why we need English, right? It's just that it's so natural for me in a Chinese school. But when I came to Singapore to study my A-level, the story was the teacher then, I'm the only foreign students in the Singapore school. And I always being arrow to ask, you know, In general paper, which is one of the paper, we talk about English discussions. And they always ask me, okay, let's hear from this Malaysian from our neighborhood country. What is her opinion? I stood up and I always say no comments. That was my 2 words that lasted me for 6 months in the school. Every time when the teacher asked a questions, my answer will be no comments. 6 months later, the principal called me to his office. And the principal said that, you know, Michelle, you came to my school and you always talk about no comments. So I'm going to send you back to your country. And I believe you have no comments as well. And that was then I realized that I have to change. I couldn't go back to my country because my parents had paid for the course fee. And I literally need to work very damn hard to make sure that I really can pass, right? So what I do was basically, this is like a newspaper, right? So newspaper is how many days news? 1 day, 1 month? What's your answer? Newspaper. Have you read newspaper before? I know now we're all browsing. Our news is actually by minutes and by seconds. But if you read newspaper, newspaper is for you for as a 1 day or 1 month. 1 day, right? But the newspaper for me when I was 17, it is a 1 month news. Basically, I couldn't really read much about the English inside. I have to really check dictionary. Maybe you do not know what's called dictionary now, right? Google, basically. I have to Google every single word most of the time and to understand the meaning of it. So to people, right, the newspaper is only a 1 day news. But to me, this is the English material that I'm using it for 30 days to improve my English. So today the topic, right, is talking about resilient designer. And I just want to start off with this story that the woman standing in front of you, despite of all the, just now, thanks to the MC sharing about some of the small little achievement that we have achieved, I just wanted to tell you first, no matter where you are and who you are now, it doesn't mean that you can't be somebody great later. I came to Singapore, or went to Singapore, when I do not know that what I'm going to do. I didn't know at all. I didn't have a plan. I only know that I follow my parents' instruction. And I just want to be rich. That's the only reasons that I went to Singapore. But as things unfold, you'll be able to know what you truly want. So the very first thing that I would like to encourage all of you here, for the fact that you care enough to sit down here for the last session, be it whether volunteer or by force, I want to congratulate you because this is your time. You are not here to listen to me alone. You are here, I hope, as I share my experience, you are listening to your heart. And you're listening to yourself. Truly, what do you want to become? All right? Shall we agree on that? All right? For me, when I'm sharing, I make it a very clear point to everybody. I do not want to waste your time. Neither I want you to waste my time. So we will have to make this as a meaningful section for every one of us here, shall we? Can I have a little bit of energy, please? Can we have a louder, please? Huh? You have half of the class is actually below 25 years old. You all should have more energy than me, I'm 50, So you should be much younger than me. All right, so this is a little bit of background. Yeah, can't tell I'm 50, right? Yeah, I'm 50, all right? So let's move on. Don't you talk about the age already. So this is actually all the information that I have. I mean, thanks to my colleagues, whereby, from the last 21 years, we have achieved quite a fair bit. And notably, the most important one is actually we are a B Corp certified companies. And we actually, in fact, 2 weeks ago, we won the Singapore Champion of Good. That means being a company that championing business as a force for good. So that was one of our little background. And this, just now I talk about sustainability. I mean, really awesome lecturer, the speaker earlier. Is really awesome. Thank you. I learned a lot. And I would like to urge all of you, sustainability design is really something that is big. Because it matters to every one of us. If I'm going to go around to ask you one question, this will be one question that I'm going to ask. What does sustainability means to you as a human being or as an individual? It means our future. We can learn, we can get all scores A, you can have all your best grade, but you living in an environment that the oxygen is bad, you know, the forest is burning, right? So a lot of us are coughing, having issues, right? You won't have quality life. So no matter what, sustainability means to everyone, including the future, your future children. So for us as a company, we definitely, as med school here, we focus very much on quality education. We advocate gender equality. We focus on giving skill set to our students, mindset, skill set, tool set, so that they can have a quality job. When you have a quality job, basically you have no poverty, no hunger. You have a better mental wellness. And of course, blah, blah, environmental, etc. So that is given. And this is actually how we started. 21 years ago, when we started med school, it was in this Killiney Road. If you have been familiar with Singapore, you know this Killiney Coffee, right? Killiney Coffee is actually located at this Killiney Road. And the very first office that I had, it was a warehouse on top of a restaurant. I shared a very small space with my friend's restaurant. So the second floor was basically she put flour, she put all the ingredients, and I just occupied a very small table. How small is my table? Literally, it's like this size times 2. So I went to a second-hand bookshop, the furniture shop, to buy a table that is about these 2 table width and a recycled chair and a recycled phone. And that's how I started. And together with 4 my partners, started the school. But of course, when we started off, we just have a very naive dream. We want to make design accessible to everyone. We want to make creativity and reality together. So that is why, with a simple dream, we started off from here, and now we are located here. So very nice view. We are very fortunate, always looking at Singapore River, and we're at the 3rd floor. So if you happen to be in Clarke Quay, clubbing or partying, you can give us a call. We definitely will join you. Right? That's how I become very young every time. And this is actually my whole full-time team. We total have a 16 full-time, but we have 60 contracted part-time teams working with us. So these are the awesome 16 people, and most of them are actually with me for very long. Literally, they watch me grow up, and it's very grateful. And this is actually the recent award that I would like to share about, the ASEAN Award and the Company of Good. And I gave a TED talk in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, and the topic was Formula One. As I look back, I have decided that for this session today, I'm going to give you another updated formula, and I call it, it's actually Formula Ones. You know YOLO, right? What's YOLO means? YOLO. Shout, 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 shout. Come on, energy. Give me energy. Shout. You only live once, right? Okay, you know what? I think I would like to recommend us to do a little bit of exercise. Can we all stand up? Can we just all stand up? Come, come. Because I'm sorry, if your energy is low, right, I'm going to give you my low energy. But if your energy is high, I'm going to give you my high energy. Fair trade, right? Fair trade, right? So what we're going to do this simple exercise is, I want you to walk around to one person. Before you walk around to one person that you do not know, I want you to share your name. You are in Venus University as a student, as a lecturer, or whatever, okay? Your name, what is your role in the university, and what is your one superpower? You can say that, I'm hardworking, I'm damn good looking, I'm whatever, whatever you can say it. And I'm going to give you only 1 minute to get it done. Your name, your role in the universities, whether you are students or you are lecturers, etc. And one more, what is your superpower? And I want you to share it with the energy that, sorry, what's your name? Huh? Yeah. Hanija, right? Okay, so I'm going to approach her. I'm going to say that, hi, my name is Michelle. I'm a guest speaker in Venus University, and my superpower is passion. Agree? Got it? I'm going to give you only 1 minute. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it now. Please don't neglect my colleague behind. There's a handsome man behind there. Robbie, so Robbie, what do you do here? IT specialist, expert. And what's your superpower? Wow, that's good, that's good. Hello, I'm Michelle. Hi, your name? Irma. Irma, and what you doing here? Oh, I. And what's your superpower? Oh, that's good, that's good. My power is passion, passion. Yeah, passion, yeah, you can have, yeah. You have my name card, right? Nice. Yeah, okay, I have another one. Yeah, this is my name card, so you have my face, so easy for you to remember. No worries. Okay, 1 minute's up. Let's get back to our table. Come, everyone, sit down, sit down. So this topic is about resilient designer. And now, before we talk about resilience, right, I would like to ask a simple, one more questions to all of you, okay? Each of you have to answer just only one word. No more than one word, only one word. How do you feel now? How do you feel now? Only one word, All right, I'm going to start off from this table. One word. Can you shout? You stand up and just shout one word. How do you feel now, sir?
I stand up or
Sit down or you can just shout, yeah. One word, one word. Happy. It's not a word. One word. How do you feel now? What are you feeling now? What are you feeling now? Enlightened. Excited. Fun. Better. Excited. Sorry? Better. Happy. Sorry? Livelier. It's not a word. Sorry? Enlightened. Hey, don't copy already. No more copying, Excited is the copy. Okay, how about you? Sorry? Relax. Sorry? Sorry, couldn't hear you. Relief. Okay. Great. Silly. How about you? Curious. Excited. How about the lady in the mask? Yeah. Sorry? Enthusiastic. How about you? Really good. So it's actually 3 words. Yeah, you? Sorry? Content. Contented. Content. All right. Excited. Same. Happy. Sorry? Interesting. Energized. Absolutely true. 2 words. All right. Challenging. Well, IT specialists here feel very challenging today. Okay, let's hope that our IT is okay. Yeah, I think you deserve to give a round of applause to all the organizer. You know, this is actually something that is beyond. So what does once mean? What does once really mean? Okay, the very first thing is actually taking ownership. How do you face your future, right? It is not about what you're going to react to the future that's going to throw back to you. If let's say I'm telling you that you can possibly create your future, you see, we can't change what other people said to us. We can't change your clients going to criticize on your work. We can't change your lecturers now saying that your work sucks, go back and redo. We couldn't change that. But we took it as a feedback. We can take it as a feedback and improve ourselves. We take ownership on the work that we produce. Whoever said to you is the things that you do. And you take it as a reflective to reflect upon, is it, am I that kind of person? Or is it my way of doing is wrong? If they say I'm saying that your work is stupid, does it mean that you are stupid or I'm saying that your work is stupid? Think about it. Very often, we take things, to ourselves. We feel very offensive. And then we become very defensive. And in the end, every time we blame other people. Why am I here? Because of somebody, lor. Why am I doing well? Because of somebody at home keep making noise. I cannot focus. Why? And then always about other people. So the very first thing that to be a resilient designer, you really need to take ownership. And to take ownership means that in every time, every challenges that you face, you got to take it as if like it's a lifelong learning. You have to continue to stay curious and be very adaptive and committed to your reason why you are here. I do not know what's your reason to be in these universities, be whether you chose it, be whether you were sent by your parents or not. But I just want you to know that now you are here. What are you going to do and make the good use of it? Before we talk about resilience, the very first thing is responsibility. You are not responsibility for the decision that has made prior to here, but you are responsible for your own time here. Do you get it? You are not responsible for people who make decision for you, but you're responsible for your time that you spend here. That makes a lot of difference. If you keep thinking that other people have to take the responsibility of why you are here, then unfortunately, you are not taking ownership of your life. And then the second one, once, right? The second one, N. N is stand for new. It's very easy to remember. And what does new mean? That every time when you come to a new environment, you definitely have a lot of challenges that you face. So it's either you take it whereby I do not want to change, or I take it as an opportunity for me to learn. And I always feel that every individual must have three kinds of skill set. The very first one is your mindset. Your mindset comparing to you when you're in a high school than in the university now, it should have changed. Your skill set comparing to your high school versus your university now, it should have changed. Likewise, the tool set. Do you know the difference between the mindset, skill set, and tool set? Anyone? Yes. Mindset is how you think.
Mindset is how you think about certain things. Skill set is the capability that you have when doing something, and tool set is the items that you have to do it.
Very good. What's your name? Jaslyn. Yes, Jaslyn had pointed out. Every one of us can easily take the tool set. In the future, if you focus only tool set, AI will replace you because AI is supposed to be a tool set. You'll find that AI is started off in 1960s. We call it machine learning. And AI at that time is called monotonous. It means that it's actually single repetitive work, like the machine doing the same thing again and again in an accurate way. That is actually a machine learning. Toolset is something whereby repetitively doing it. Like for example, your Adobe software is a toolset, right? You use Adobe software is a toolset, but you must have a skill set to use that toolset to create your work. But if your mindset don't change, you probably can just copy other people's work and using the Adobe, the skill set that you have to create the same work that other people did. But if your mindset is original thinker, you will constantly think about how do you use your skill set and your tool set differently. So the most important thing that you must learn in the university and to become a resilient designer is that you must have the right mindset. And the mindset is a growth mindset. You must constantly think about how can you grow, not just in size, but in here. Okay? So choose your growth accurately. Don't choose the wrong growth. So I'm going to show it to you, this example here. I hope technically we should be fine. Everybody know about this brand? Unilever, right? I think most of us probably will have their products, right? Either your toothpaste or your shower gel. I'm going to show you this particular video. Okay.
கண்ணுக்கு கண்ணான காந்த தொழில துள்ளி விளையாடியே மனது அகில செய்யணுங்க மகிழ செய்யணுங்க மகிழ செய்யணுங்க தெய்வம் தந்த செல்வமையா நான் பெற்ற செல்வமையா ஆரோக்கியம் அறிவும் பெற்று வளர்ந்துட்டாங்கய்யா மனமறிந்தோமையா நாமே மனமறிந்தோமையா இந்த மகிழ்ச்சியின் வேதனையும் மறந்துடும் ஐயா ஐயா வாழும் பொழுதொரு என் மகன் வளர்கிறார் உள்ளங்களிலே இன்பம் பெறுகிற மனதில் இருக்கின்றார் மனதில் இருக்கின்றார் मेरा बच्चा 5 साल का हो गया
इतना सब 5 साल में कौन सी बड़ी बात है?
बड़ी बात है मैडम ये गुंडप्पा का पहला बच्चा है जो 5 साल की उम्र तक पहुंचा है
Don't you expect that this is actually an advertisement for the soap? But this is an advertisement. As a designer, earlier the speaker has mentioned, design is about problem solving. It's about why now we are learning design, representing our clients to do work, representing the future social cause to do some work. It could be a different way of doing it. But why I like this video so much is very simple. Because what they are sharing is about the product can make a difference to people's life. In this village, most of the children, they die before turn 5. And that's where the advertising company using the culture of that city and their country to create this storytelling and talk about how they actually continue to make a difference. Very often, right, as a resilient designer or as a designer, we constantly only think about what's our creativity, what can we do? And we work in a silo very often. You know, last time, you are fortunate enough that is you have to go to the library and browse books and magazines. You do not know when you're going to find your answer. You will just have to keep on searching. When is the last time that you went to the library to look through all the books? Or you are a researching person that based on the 2 finger just clicking. Are you a researcher on 2 finger researcher? Or you are the person who totally AI, just have to ask ChatGPT to give you all the answers? Or you are the person who willing to go extra miles to go and visit and go and find a solutions for the people? I mean, just now sorry, I forgot your name. I mean, I didn't hear your name clearly. The earliest, what's your name? Yeah. Earlier, Siti mentioned that when she was 20, she was fortunate to went to this village and stay with the people and live there. And the line between designer and the villagers change. Because they are the villagers that changing her design concept. And that's what a resilient designer should have. We are not designing thinking whereby we have all the solutions. But we are going to a place or you having a brief to think that how can we collaborate? How can we find a solutions together? That will make your design job a lot more fun. If it's all you, yourself, you alone, I'm telling you, this job will be damn boring. Forget it, just quick. But if you find a way that you know that design is about collaboration, it's about making a difference through your design piece. And most importantly, right, the exciting part is actually when you're making a difference to other people, right, without you knowing, right, your life change. And that is the beauty of it as being a designer. So the third one is called collaborations. You need to collaborate. I mean, I'm not too sure how many of you are from the same cohort or the same group, but I would like to encourage you. Who are your support system? Who? When you are down, when you run out of idea, when you have no clue what you're going to do next, who are your safe net that will not be afraid to tell you the truth, but yet embrace you because they want you to be better? I often say that designer will have this super huge ego that we need to crush all the time. Why? We take pride in our work. Correct. Every piece of work is like your baby. It's assuming like you have a baby. You go out and people say, hey, your baby is ugly. So you feel pain, right? You feel hurt. But that is the important things. As a designer, we have to immune to this kind of hurts. It's all right to feel hurt, but what's next? It's okay to feel upset and angry, but what's next? So you need to have a very good buddy system that this friend of yours is not your yes man. This friend of yours is always telling you because he or she will know what is the better version of yourself. And they are not afraid to criticize. So you have to find your support system because resilience is not about you being alone and be very strong. It's about you have a community that stay long with you. People always say a very simple quote. You want to run fast, run alone. You want to run far, run together. Because when you are down, people will pull you up. When people are down, you can pull them up. And that's how your resilience is building up. So who are your support system? Are you able to think of it? Anyone that, I have this person come to my mind when I talk about support system. The second one is actually mentorship. I felt that it's so important. I'm very, very blessed that I have a lot of good mentors in my life. And these mentors, they just basically guide me, they corrected me, and they coach me, and including my own team people. A lot of them, they are like my mentors, including my students who graduated, and they became my teacher now. They tell me what's going on now, and it helped me continue to be relevant and relatable to the industry. So this is something that is very important. Find a good mentor. If let's say in your university life, you have a university lecturers or trainers or faculty people that have helped you, and this person, you find that, hey, is gonna be my really good mentor. Don't be afraid. Step forward and ask politely. I would like you to be my mentor. Can I meet up with you once a month just to check on me? And this will be very, very helpful for you. And one day, I believe your mentor will ask you to pay back. That's called pay forward. You receive mentorship. One day, you can be a mentor for other people. And that's what we talk about, community engagement. You see, we cannot have our life, right, just about ourselves, our work, our things that we want to do, because we're living in a community. And if let's say you have so much anger about the society that you're living in, about issues that you're seeing, then can I encourage all of you that be the change maker, be the change that you want to see. And gather your friends to come together and form something. So collaboration plays a very important part if you want to be a resilient person. The last one, once, right? What's the first one? O stand for what? Do you remember? Can be louder now. Ownership. N stand for what? New, right? E stand for what? Oh, C stand for what? C. And now we come to this, the final one, E. Empathetic design. So basically, right, as Siti has mentioned, design has pivoted a lot. And design is always about inclusive, accessible, and ethical design. You can design something that is beautiful. Let me tell you a very true fact that why I started med school. I was working for an education company. It's a listed company in Singapore. And back then, right, I was in charge of the business development and I was talking to my group of designer of the brochures that how I would like to design. And I almost want to vomit blood every time when I discuss with them. I want my design to be persuasive, effective, convincing. But my designer focused on aesthetic beauty. That means that design did not answer the brief that I have given. So when I had the opportunity to start the design education, it was my experience back then to determine that I want the design students that are learning in med school to be really understanding what does consumer really need. Design on other people's perspective, not from your own self perspective, but you as a designer, you have your expertise to contribute. And that is very important. It's very often about we go to other people conversation, it's always about us first. Likewise, why people spend time with you is because they want to get something as well. Correct? So it should be a fair game. When you want to get something from somebody, your client, your lecturer, your friend, what did you offer them? Therefore, design to me is actually far beyond, now we have all these name like environmental, sustainable, inclusive, all these words. To be honest, these are the trending words, but these are actually all the while that we as a designer, we're supposed to have it. We're supposed to have it. Any of you have met any handicapped people? Do you have somebody who really on the wheelchair bound? If it's not right, I can recommend you to do one exercise. In fact, do we have time? Don't have time. One day, right, I will recommend you to do an exercise. You just sit on this roller chair and you walk around to your campus. And you will notice, right, how many design is truly inclusive for handicapped people. You will come to realize we as a designer, be whether you are interior, be whether you are architect, be whether you are exterior, environmental or whatsoever, when you are on this roller chair that you couldn't stand up at all and you go around the places that you go, you will realize that a lot of design are not inclusive. And now you are here to receive an education. Would you want to change it? That will be my question for you. Would you want to change it? And imagine, in Australia, right, there's this supermarket, there's this shopping mall called Kmart. Kmart, right, they started off inclusive advertisement. I will try to dig out the advertisement later for you to see. 1 out of 5 people, all of us here, 1 out of 5, we will be handicapped. We will be. You will be aged, you will age. You will be either having hearing problem or your knees give ways that you couldn't walk, that you have to be on a wheelchair. Your eyesight turn dim, that you couldn't see clearly. You will have some form of handicap, every one of us. Kmart started off an advertisement called inclusive advertisement that get people from different lives, different situations become their model. Think about it first on the business sense. They are tackling on 1 out of 5 handicapped community, person with disability community. And we, even though we are not under the person of disability community, but we as a consumer, when you see a brand that is embracing inclusive, what's your feeling? You would like to support the brand as well, isn't it? That is why in the business sense, ethical doesn't mean that cost money and no ROI, return on investment. To me, as a business person, I firmly believe that every single business that you're going to embark on, when you do good, you still can make money. And you as a designer, when you're designing something for people, then you have to ask yourself, am I going for a quick fix or am I going for some solutions that truly making an impact? And that will be something that I leave it to you to choose. I'm going to show you another advertisement, which I felt that is so powerful. And it changed through the years. So I'm going to show it to you. It's the very old advertisement. And I'm going to show it to you the new advertisement. And this is where you will find that even for brands, they have started to look at design solutions that is really embracing the community. And community not necessarily have to be marginalized community, even community like us. Even like us, a common people. How are these things changed? The play.
We had an option of two pathways to walk, and they led to two doorways.
Given the choice between a door labeled beautiful or a door labeled average, which would you choose? Latest campaigns in Shanghai, San Francisco, London, Sao Paulo, and Delhi. They watched as women made average door.
I went through the average door.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I didn't even hesitate.
漂亮对我的概念来说，就是像明星那种遥不可及的那种。我走的是一般。
Surprisingly, many women walk through the average door. In a recent survey by Dove, 96% of women do not choose the word beautiful to describe their appearance.
I walked into that door with said average and I didn't feel really good after that. Todos os dias eu passo pela porta comum. E ontem foi dia único e eu optei por passar pelo bonita.
The powerful results sparked a conversation about how women perceive their own beauty. And Dove wants them to be able to always choose beautiful.
I wanted to go through the average door, but my mum just pulled me over to the beautiful door.
Maybe I could walk in that door. You can.
It was quite a triumphant feeling. It was like telling the world, I think I'm beautiful.
The hashtag Choose Beautiful campaign sends a meaningful message, and we hope it helps to inspire women all over the world. Be sure to tune in to Inside Edition.
So you see, right, how we label ourselves at change. There was just two doors. One door is beautiful, one door is average. And how very often we label ourselves change the way that we do things. If every day you wake up, you look into the mirror, it's just another normal day. Then, of course, it will be a normal day. What you ask for, you will receive. But if every day you wake up, you say that it's going to be a brand new day, I just want to do a little bit different. Maybe I took the different way to come to, take a different way to come to the school. Or maybe the very first person I say hi, I will say hi differently. Or maybe the very first person I see at home, I give a hug. One simple act of kindness to others is the kindness to yourself. I can't urge you wrong enough because resilient designer is not about how to become, what kind of skill set you need to become alone, but it's who you are. It's about who you are, and you got to build that to yourself. When you're able to build that, then you can give. Because you cannot give what you don't have. You can only give what you have. So how do you build it into yourself? Now, you just see earlier is actually an outdoor advertisement. Is it difficult design? Is it a difficult design? Just to put a panel up, average and beautiful. Does, in terms of design perspective, is the typography very interesting? No, right? Come on, be honest. Typography design is just a typeface, isn't it? Probably they're just using Arial or Helvetica, right? Just two panels on top of the door. But is the thinking very good? As a designer, it's not about just the execution. It's about the thinking. right? So this is actually something that now time change. Okay, we just now saw one is an outdoor. Now let me show you this one. So I chose this advertisement is because with the social media and Instagram in TikTok, right? All of us with the CapCut, Meitu apps, we are trying to look great on the screen. And of course, I myself also sometimes using that to look great on the screen because it makes us feel good. Once a while, we need to remove all these filter and look into the mirror, confidently telling ourselves and not forgetting who you truly are. I think this ad played a very important part, especially in today's young people like us. Okay, I'm calling myself young people, right? Young at heart. So it's very, very important for us to truly see through the filter, see through the lens of others, and find your own path. You see, all these things, right, that I mentioned earlier, right, is draw back to yourself. Ultimately, you want to be a resilient person, you want to be a resilient designer, you want to really overcome challenges. The very first fundamental thing is overcome your own self. If you're able to overcome your own self, the negative thoughts, those belittling words that you use for yourself, or people have spoken to you and you feel hurt and you harbor it, all these things you need to release. Without releasing all these things, right, it's going to be very hurtful for you. And that's where I felt that for every one of you, you have to remember, if you don't remember what I say today, it's totally fine. But you just have to remember that two stories that you have watched. The very first one is about truly understanding you only live once. You are living for who? In order for the better self of you to emerge, you need to let go of your old self. Let go of the past hurt. And you have to embrace the community, your support system, to come strong together. And the second one that I'm going to show it to you is, just give me a minute. This is another one.
Everyone's having plastic surgery these days. See how many days you can skip lunch and dinner with a juice cleanse challenge. If your teeth aren't even, you can always file them down with a nail file. Baby Botox is amazing. It's a shortcut to flawless skin. Okay. Yeah.
So this is actually another new version. You see that, right? You see the old version, right? And then it comes to the new versions of these thing. I just wanted to end this with this. There's another just about 2 more slides to go. When you watch this video, right, how do you feel? May I ask? Anyone? Raise hands. Raise your hand. Come on. Anyone? Yes? Sorry? Any video?
Thank you. I feel like the videos, even though they're advertisements, like from Dove, I like the way that they try to help the community around them because I see a lot of commercials that schools also show, they only show the tragic story, right? But I've never really saw the commercials that try to help the communities around them, which I think is very a positive impact that can really help a lot of people.
Thank you. And I just mentioned earlier, right? You want to make the change, right? Or make a difference, right? It can start from you. I want to encourage, okay, the reason why I fly all the way here together and then I met my colleague Batman later, I let him share his story, is that I would like to see you face to face. I mean, we can do it in Zoom, because Patricia is very kind to say that you don't need to fly here. You just go to Zoom and then we just talk and I see you on screen. But I would like to stand here to see your beautiful face and your handsome face and to tell you into your face that you can make a difference now. Your social media, your Instagram, your TikTok, you can start sharing positive things. As you're sharing positive things to other people, you are creating to become a positive designer. And that helps the community start now. You don't have to wait later. And second link is, I mentioned earlier, right, that there are two parts of this sharing. The very first part is about you yourself is a brand. Think about it as a designer of your own brand. You are Jaslyn, right? Think Jaslyn as a brand. How do you want to name Jaslyn as a brand? Think of yourself like a brand. How would you name yourself as a brand? How would people talk about you? Earlier I mentioned, we don't need to care that much about other people talk about you, right? It's not a contradicting value. It is to understand that what have your action and your behavior being projected to other people. And it's for you to do reflection, to take ownership of your life and yourself. So O is stand for? O stand for what? Then N stand for what? C stand for what? E stand for what? All right. So this picture, I took it in Singapore MRT that I was like bored and then nothing to do. And I felt that, every one of us, right, pass through our day like rushing. It's just like this, right? We pass through some people, we don't even know their name. These are just human beings passing through us. And I do wish that one day, right, you were not just passing through anybody who needs your help. Want to be an excellent designer is start from empathetic. Siti mentioned very well. Be very, very observant of your surrounding, of your people. And what is your people? I always believe charity starts from home. You don't have to find people outside to practice. You can straight away practice in your home, your place, among your friends. That is your very first thing to apply as an empathetic designer. Second, it's actually life of significance, right? It's for those who need your gifts, your leadership, and your purpose. Many of us, when asked the question, how do you find your purpose? I would like to tell you there's no model answer. You can go through many talks, many events. I can tell you it's their purpose, it's never your purpose. The only way you can find your purpose is when you just do it. Things will unfold. And then gradually with your maturity, you will know that this is actually what I wanted to do. I mentioned to you at the age of 17, I went to Singapore. And at that time, I only had one dream. I thought that was my purpose. Coming from an average low-income family, I mean, of course, after that, my parents did very well. And thanks to them that we became very, very comfortable. But when I was very young, I witnessed the difference between the income level change the person. So when I was 17, my goal was very simple. I want to be a millionaire before I reach 30. And that was one purpose, the only purpose why I went through the university. But then when I was given an opportunity to work in the bank as an investment, that is the fastest way that you can be a millionaire. I know that that was not my calling, but it was after I have tried. Try long enough, you will find that what are the things that you don't want to do. Even now, if I ask you what you want to do, you may not know. But at least you know what you don't want to do. That is a very good start. Started from what you don't want to do, you don't like to do. But you have to ask yourself why. Why you don't like? Why you don't want? Is it because it's too difficult? Is it because of you yourself already limiting that it's impossible? So I wanted to urge all of us, always ask yourself a simple question, 5 why. When you have something that you don't want to do, why I don't want to do? Because it's too difficult. Why is it too difficult? Because I have not learned the skill. Why you have not learned the skill? Because I was lazy. Why are you lazy? Because I lack of motivation. Why you lack of motivation? Because I don't know what's my direction. Always asking why. Then you'll be able to find that what is your true reasons behind it, and you address that. That's the way that you solve problems. Same thing as a designer. When you're receiving a brief, when you receive a challenge, you have to ask, why is it so like that? Who are the people involved? What the situation as such? As a designer, how can I embrace them? Design thinking, you all will learn, right? How do I use design thinking to apply on that? So these are the things that you can apply. These are the skill set. But first, you must have the right mindset. That is the growth mindset. So I don't want to preach too long. I just want to wish all of you prosperity. This Chinese word called fa. Fa means a prosperity. And prosperity doesn't mean that it has to be money. It can be prosperity in your soul, in your spiritual, etc. I just want and wish all of you, this is my LinkedIn. We can keep in touch. I just wish all of you to have a prosperity life in your body, your mind, and your soul. That to be a resilient designer, you need to have all these three. Now, I'm going to have a special guest come on stage. That is Batman. Come, Batman, come. Don't be shy, Batman. Actually, I just gave him a very short notice only on the way, the car here. I'm going to interview Batman. So we can talk topic about resilience, right? Batman, don't mind, I just share a little bit of your background. Is it okay? Is the mic on?
Hello. Yeah.
It's okay now. Not recorded, but can share. Not recorded. Yeah, cannot be recorded, but can share. Okay. Can I just highlight that